Hey guys, and welcome to Talk a Bone Podcast with me, your host, Bander, and my two co-hosts. We have, uh, are you going by Count to Cow?
Does that start now? Is it in
Dylan,
effect?
Dylan is here.
Let's just that's my alter ego.
Count to Cow. That's your evil. No, I mean probably your good side.
I'll just have interchangeable names at this point.
Sure. We'll call him Dylan, and
The cow.
we've got Hooligan,
Hey guys, how's it going?
who's also known as Spicy Fries, I guess.
Yes, sir. I have interchangeable names too.
We all just have well, I don't know. Maybe not Joe.
I do.
Ander, Bartman, which we haven't used in forever.
Your team leader.
No, not that one.
Fearless team leader.
Oh.
And today, of
Wait,
course, we are going to be.
You didn't remember the most important one, Champ.
Champ,
Who's champ?
You're Champ.
you have the trophy.
Oh, that's. I thought you guys were going to do the John Cena thing.
No.
I was like, oh yeah, who's champ? And then you go, oh, okay. Today,
What
of
are you
course.
ready for?
Today, of course,
find out.
we are going to be discussing the recent Marvel movie, Avengers Endgame. Yay!
Yay.
Yay.
We're going to start this off very spoiler-free for the first 5 minutes or so. Just going to give our initial thoughts about it. Very spoiler-free, spoiler-free, spoiler-free. And then after that, we will give full
We
warning
get
for
down
spoilers.
to the nitty gritty.
And the nitty-gritty. And oh my goodness, there's a lot of nitty-gritty. Let's start with our resident comics expert, Joey. What did you think, without spoilers, of Avengers Endgame?
Without spoilers,
Without
I loved
spoilers.
it. I loved it without the spoilers. It was amazing. Action-packed. Lots of drama. Lots of what's going to happen. How is this going to happen? What are they going to do to get this done? And my God, my mind was blown from start to finish.
Are they setting up that thing? Are they going to do that thing? Oh my god, they did that thing. A lot of that.
Yeah, they definitely kept you on your toes.
Our 70% MCU watched. Dylan, your opinion?
Well, I think it's valid that we have my opinion too, because
Oh my God, that's why he's asking. Give your opinion.
relax. Being someone that hasn't obviously seen some movies, I've seen a good, probably like Joe said, 70%.
Which is a perfectly fine number for this.
And
And more
I
more so for your benefit, not for Joe's gatekeeping benefit.
Dylan is never going to get a word in edgewise in this
he's
podcast.
gatekeeping right now.
You don't know who Caecilius is.
Okay. On top of what Joey said, it did not feel like 3 hours. I'll say that much. I was definitely on the edge of my seat. It has a great blend. I mean, the entire thing was great. I thought it was very, very appropriate, and I really appreciate the cameo scene. I'm not really gonna say more than that.
Are you talking about the standard,
Yeah.
the guy who makes a cameo in every single Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's a spoiler. We won't talk about that till after.
Well, the specific, and let's just say it, the fucking Stan Lee cameo. What the specifics about it is the spoiler, but I mean, if you call it a spoiler, but this was in fact the last MCU Stan Lee cameo.
So stated by the Russo brothers.
Right.
And I had one more thing I was gonna say, and I just completely blanked out on it.
Want me to go? What do you think?
Sure. If I butt in,
as the team's gatekeeper for all things MCU, as a person who is who has never been a comic person, my only experience in comics is Simpsons comics and Captain Underpants.
Captain
Captain
Underpants.
Underpants is a book.
Damn.
Captain Underpants is a
It was a
comic.
comic.
Oh god, here we go. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Is it?
It was like a book comic. I don't know. Whatever. Let me
Is
look
it
this
not-
up. But just continue.
Is it not
It was like a
entirely a
comic.
comic book?
It was a comic in the form of a book.
Like a comic novel,
Yes.
like a long form comic. Like, isn't it? Isn't it all just comic panels?
I don't know.
I mean, I should know this.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
Anyway, yeah, and some manga. I am an MCU fan, so anything that's like MCU related, I really like. But things like that happen in the comics book, I have no attachment rate to it. To me, this is Marvel to me, and this was just like the perfect finale to what has been like 11 years in the making at this point. It's so good. There's so much going on in this movie, and there's some parts of it that I'm like, that I kind of wish were done a little bit better, but they are vastly overshadowed by the just sheer like amazement of everything they were able to accomplish in this 3-hour movie. All right, anyone have any final spoiler-free thoughts?
If
you were to give it a 10 out of 10 score, what would you give it?
I feel like I would break that and just go above and beyond. I'd give it that good old 12 out of 10.
All right, Dylan.
I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. I said multiple times after watching it that this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
A 10 out of 10 for me. I mean, yeah, 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna get, because technically speaking, if you have a negative to say about it, it wouldn't be a 10 out of 10. But fuck that, 10 out of 10. All right, this is your final, one and only spoiler warning. The rest of the podcast will go into spoilers. You ready? Everyone ran away if you don't want it? Okay, here we go. Let's just start out. Favorite moment. What is your favorite moment in this movie, Dylan?
Favorite moment? Jesus, I actually didn't think of it. I can't even say, dude. There was just multiple scenes that I appreciated.
Do you want Joey to go first?
I mean, I could think of scenes off the top of my head that I really appreciated.
I'll
go. The soul, when they were with Red Skull, and when they were reassembling the gauntlet, and they had to go recollect all the stones when they were gonna go get the soul stone. That was pretty.
That whole part. I love that part. I haven't seen a whole lot of.
It was super emotional in my opinion, but I really think that they made the right decision of who they killed.
I mean, you could just say it. We're in spoilers.
Oh,
we're in the spoilers now, buddy.
Wait. Well, do we still want to keep it semi-masked?
No, Iron Man. Hang on. Haley was over there. I'm like, I don't want to just scream it out. Something like.
Oh, she hasn't seen it.
I mean,
wait, has she not seen it?
She hasn't seen it, but she's not paying attention. She's in the other room anyway. Iron Man dies, Black Widow dies, Thanos dies, and who cares? We're in full spoilers.
Okay. That was a good, really emotional scene.
I really liked it because I kind of went back in my head for a few seconds because they're doing the time heist and they're sending everyone off the stones, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about it, about what they're actually kind of lining up here, and I'm like, how are they gonna deal? Like, and I always thought, like, how are they gonna deal with the Soul Stone? Like, they have to, like, they're gonna have to do the same thing, but who are they sending off here? And then I'm thinking, like, oh, well, like, here's the team that's going to New York, and then it's like, oh, it's these four going through here, and then they're like, and then they do such a good job of kind of hiding it and like making it like obvious if you're ever watching it a second time, like what's happening. But it's just like, it's very subtle, and they drag on the other two scenes, the other two heists, long enough to get you to forget about it. So then when you finally get to that moment where fucking Black Widow and Hawkeye are
You're sitting there like, oh shit.
on Vormir, you're like, oh fuck, they
Okay.
have to do this right now, and you're going up there and you're thinking about, I'm like, wait a minute, who the fuck is gonna do this right now? Are they actually gonna do this right now? And you sit there and you're like, wait, they are gonna do it. Which one is it gonna be? And it's like, and you're like, oh, it's gotta be Hawkeye, because it's always Hawkeye is like the weakest one. No one really cares about Hawkeye, but then you think about it, it's like, wait, no, it has to be Black Widow. Hawkeye has a
And
fucking
Hawkeye
family.
has a family.
He's got a fucking family. Like, like, oh shit, this is what they're like. This is all like she's fucking dead. Like, there it is. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like crazy how she's been in the MCU since like
It's
2000.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, like 2010 or something like that. And like this was her final scene. It's like, that's crazy. And then it all kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't even seen her in trailers past this moment. Basically, that's crazy.
I thought they were gonna do, like, I had in the back of my head that was gonna happen from when they had the scene with Thanos and Gamora, but I thought they were gonna do something with Nebula because there was like the evil one, and I was thinking maybe that they were gonna be able to, like, I don't know how exactly it would work, but because technically it was the same person, maybe they were gonna facilitate like chucking her off the cliff or something.
You have to pick up someone you love.
Here's something that I don't exactly understand is
But they love Nebula.
how Nebula can shoot, like, future Nebula can shoot past Nebula and still be alive. I mean, I guess like the time travel thing, I'm not gonna lie, isn't exactly explained very well, because they had to go through it pretty fast. Like, they explain it, but I need another watch to really understand it, because I have an understanding of it.
Well, they were explaining it as it's not, whatever you do in the past, it affects in the future. It's a different timeline. So you can fuck something up and nothing will change, but really, that isn't how it should be.
No, like, because Thor couldn't tell his mom that she was gonna die.
Well, he could, but
He could have. He just
Right, but
chose
it
not
would have fucked the future.
She kind of
No,
already knew what was happening.
she said, like, you don't need to say anything. Like, what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
That was
She
just
knew it was coming.
I didn't pick that up.
like, he could have, but if he had, he would have created an alternate timeline. Because I think the way I understand it, and real quick, just to wrap up the Black Widow thing, I've seen a lot of people really focus on like the two major kind of cinematic ends to the two big ones at the very end. But I honestly, like, the Black Widow thing, I was like, this was like a rough moment. This one, like, I felt this one. That was harsh, especially after like her performance in the beginning of the movie. It was just like, oh my god, they did a good job with this one.
One of the things that I appreciated, can I talk about the end of the movie, or do you want to jump that far, or do you want to kind of keep it like mid movie?
Let's save the end of the movie for a little bit later.
Okay, so we'll break down the end.
Let's go back to the time travel thing with it. From what I
So
understand,
I was gonna make a quick joke.
Oh, go ahead.
You know how they were saying it's like 5 days or 5 hours?
Yeah.
5 hours is like 5 seconds for them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I looked over towards my friend and I was like, dude, that's exactly how I felt watching this movie. In reality, it was 3 hours, but it felt like fucking 5 minutes because I was just so locked in.
It was so engaging. So the way I understand time travel, as Banner explained it, and like I said, I have to rewatch it to really understand it again, is that you can't change your past because it already happened. If you go to the past and change something, that just becomes your future, not your past. It doesn't change your past at all. So, like, if you were to go back to the past and change something from the past that fundamentally changes what happens in the future, it just creates an alternate timeline. But if something happens in the past that is always meant to happen, such as what happens at the very end of the movie with Cap, then that doesn't change anything because it was always meant to happen. So, for reference, if you were to take an Infinity Stone out of the past, use it in the future, and bring it back to the exact point in which you took it from it, nothing will change. And the way the Ancient One describes taking an Infinity Stone away creates like an apocalypse branch, basically. And only when you bring it back will it fix that apocalypse timeline. So,
Mm-hmm.
therefore, based off this, what I've said, after the events of Avengers Endgame, there are only 2 timelines, I think. And that's how I understand it. There is one timeline in which is the timeline we're currently on, that we all know, in which Captain America has always been Peggy Carter's husband and has always gone back to the past and lived his life with Peggy Carter. And he didn't...
It's just a forever loop.
Sort of. I mean, it ends when old Captain America dies eventually.
True.
And that when he finally does settle down, he doesn't interfere with anything else. He just lives his life as needed. Or maybe he can interfere with things, and that's just the actual reality of that universe. Now, I might be wrong in that fact. That might just be, in fact, that he did actually create another timeline, and things are kind of funky. That might need to be explained later, but that's just how I understand it. The other timeline, and this was kind of a thing like, wait a minute, what the fuck happened with that? And then I kind of pieced it together. Is the fact that when they did the time heist to get the Tesseract, and Tony and Ant-Man fucked up and let Loki free into the world with the Tesseract, that didn't fucking happen in Avengers. That's an alternate timeline now.
Yes.
And there's a Loki series coming out on Disney Plus next year, I think. Any guess as to what that series is about? Because I'll take a bet and say it's about that.
I'm imagining it's the new Loki that's now free running around.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. If that was the little subtle like, hey,
Nice way for them to bring Loki back into the fold.
don't you fucking forget that we did that. You saw it. We all saw it. We told you the rules. That fucking happened. And as far as that, I don't think there are any other timelines, because a lot of people say that after
Are they going to go that deep on it though?
We now have a new Gamora running around as well.
That is also up in the air. We don't actually 100% know.
She vanished in the end.
Because the way that I took it is like, at the end of the movie, like it just went back to to just like
the past.
Right.
Yeah, because that's what. Because I think Tony snapped everyone. Here's what I think happened. And to your point about Gamora, what I think.
Wait, no, because they all went back to their families.
Who?
Everyone. Well, besides.
Are you talking about at the funeral?
Hawkeye. Didn't he go? Didn't show up. What?
I think you're confused as to what we're talking about here.
Maybe
I'm talking about
sorry,
Tony snaps, and what I think he snaps is anyone currently on Thanos' side disappears, goes back to their timeline, their proper timeline, and forgets everything that they saw about the future. Because only then does Thanos go back to his correct timeline and carry out the events like he should be. Because when he sees the future, it changes Thanos. It changes his fundamental character, and that's why he's like, fuck this universe, I'm fucking destroying it now, versus what he was before.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for some Doctor Strange shit.
What do you mean?
But wait, weren't they showing like the little segments of each and every hero that returned in the end? The Guardians were talking about Gamora, weren't they?
So
They were trying to find
Peter on his computer was searching for Gamora. Now we did not see what happened to Gamora at the end of that movie. They didn't show her getting snapped. They didn't show her anything. So that's why there's something funky going on with that one. And obviously that's going to be the plot of Guardians 3 or as Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Bro, Thor is such a good addition.
I think it's so perfect for him. It's like such a good idea.
So is he official? Like, is he a Guardian now? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
do we just call him like a Guardian?
I mean, you
Or
can
is he still an
infer.
Avenger?
I mean, both. I mean, who cares? I mean, I guess
True.
Rocket's kind of an Avenger at some point. I mean, it doesn't matter. I
They're
mean,
homies.
Cap said it. He said everyone on that arc, and that's getting into the final battle stuff, but it doesn't matter. Avengers is such a loose term.
It's okay. They're all on the same team.
Same team.
Same team. Preferably.
Yeah. So we don't know what happened to Gamora, and we also don't know. There's a weird thing with the Soul Stone and the rules of the Soul Stone in MCU that we don't know about, because, one, when Cap goes back in time to return the stones in their proper spots, he's gonna go to Vormir, and he's gonna see Red Skull. I think, at least he should, and that's gonna be weird. That's a weird moment. And I hope we get to see how that actually goes down, because that would be a very interesting thing to see. Is be like, hey, haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? Just being a spirit here on Soul Planet. And what happens when he puts the Soul Stone back? Does that
bring Black Widow back?
Does that free her? And we know that she's
the stone that was achieved through Black Widow's death. The stone that was achieved through Gamora's death, that can no longer be replaced. That's gone.
Right. But also, what happens when you destroy the Soul Stone? We've seen things that happen with the other stones, but is it possible that destroying the Soul Stone frees Gamora? Because he's trapped in it, so maybe destroying
That's
it
true.
does it. I don't know. It's a question that doesn't have, I don't believe has a canon answer currently. And we can look forward to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to answer that question about what happened to Gamora. Because maybe they're going to try to find, past Gamora is still around. If so, why wouldn't she have been on that ship with them? That doesn't make any sense. Why would she have just ran away? But you'd think she would go with Nebula, the only person on that entire planet that she knows. But whatever.
Don't get me wrong.
Nebula now. I don't think she fully trusts her yet. She was just looking for the best option out of survival in this situation.
True. But I feel like
the end of this movie answered a lot of stuff, but it also caused a lot of new questions.
A lot of loose ends, buddy.
But I feel like it settled, like, the characters that needed their settle. They're like, okay, here's where we're leaving. I mean, obviously the two major ones, and kind of settling Thanos in a fucking awesome way. What a way to go out for him, just to sit down like he did in Infinity. Like, the end of Infinity War is him sitting down in victory. The end of Endgame is him sitting down getting fucking dusted. It's so good.
I have a topic. If you guys want, are we going to continue on this?
There's one more thing that I had in mind that I was going to say, which was.
If you don't have it, I have it. Let's talk about Fat Thor.
Let's talk about fucking Fat Thor.
Dude, okay, let me say, this was, like, I really appreciated it because it was, like, just the comedy aspect of it, like, it was a good little side meme. Like, he's all playing Fortnite with his buddies, he's, like, this fat guy, whatever, and then he comes back and he kicks ass in the end. Like, it's a little mini sub-story, and I like it.
It's awesome, and it kind of alludes to the fact that in the comics, in some point in the comics, he becomes the Allfather, which is what Odin was. And when he's the Allfather, he kind of looks like that, especially when he's all armored up, which is funny with the full beard and whatnot. And the part where the three of them are staring down Thanos, and they're like, this is probably a trap. And then one of them is just like, yeah, probably, but that's okay. And then they just all, like, get ready just to go kick his ass, but they get destroyed. And he's just like, he grabs, dual wields both weapons and summons the thunder, and he's like, holy shit, Thor's gonna go fucking chaotic on this guy.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
Dude, I loved when he threw the thunder at Iron Man, and then he had, like, those, like, spider, like, beams that shot out.
Supercharged him.
Yeah, that was fucking sick.
I love the combo attacks. Real quick, my favorite fucking moment, and I feel like this is Joey's favorite fucking moment too, is Cap lifting the goddamn hammer.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my fucking god.
Joey and I had a question about this. Well, Joey and I had a discussion about this. Our discussion was, in Avengers, remember how like they, when they all try picking it up, and Cap slightly moves it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think he had? Okay, we have two options, or possibly three. First option is, do you think he had the power, but it wasn't full? It wasn't full, so he couldn't completely move it. And or did he have it all along, but just didn't show that he had the ability to? And he just kind of like subtly moved it, and like he was like, "Nah, you got it, Thor."
I think, and this is my theory, and I think this is because this is the whole Russo brothers making the Cap their character, because the Russo brothers directed Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, so they've been kind of controlling Cap since the second movie. They created Cap and that moment to show that he was almost worthy, that there was something keeping Cap from being completely worthy, which was him holding on to the secret of Howard Stark's death from Tony. And when they finally sort of reconcile and stuff like that, he's finally deemed worthy enough to hold the hammer. And holy shit, the fucking ass whooping he delivered onto Thanos with that hammer, the combo attacks he had with that shield and that hammer was so fucking rad. Oh my god!
I was just only the hammer, like controlling the lightning too.
That too. Fucking amazing. I didn't think he could do that. I thought he was just gonna have the hammer, but no, he's fucking controlling lightning.
He busted out lightning.
I love the joke where he
remember when he fucking threw it and then like flew back in reverse.
What?
I remember he did a specific throw with the hammer. He threw the hammer across Thanos and then it like spun back and hit Thanos on the way back.
I think I remember what you're talking about. I also remember he threw the shield behind Thanos and threw the hammer at the shield, and did the sonic wave attack thing, because that's the exact thing that happened in Avengers 1 when Thor hit Cap's shield with the hammer when they were fighting in the woods and created that big boom thing. And then again in Age of Ultron when they do it as an actual combo attack. Now he just did it by his fucking self. Fucking awesome. I love the joke where Cap at some point picks up Stormbreaker and Thor looks at Mew Mew and he's like, "No, you take the small one."
Switch back. I prefer that one.
You take that one. It's so good. Yeah. God, what a greatness. Let's. All right. Joey or Dylan, did you have was the topic whether or not Thor can or Cap can lift the hammer?
Yeah, that was it.
Let's talk about.
We could break down the Stan Lee scene.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like it was a weak cameo for Endgame. I felt like there should have been something a little bit more poignant, I guess. Like obviously they couldn't predict when he was actually going to, pass away, but the Captain Marvel cameo,
that one felt more like a hey, this is my last cameo.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think my favorite cameo, like ever, and I don't think anything will ever beat this, is the Spider-Verse cameo, where it's right after Peter Parker dies in Spider-Verse. That was so good. Well, one Peter Parker, and Miles is trying to shop for a Spider-Man costume, and it's fucking Stan Lee there, and he's like, it always fits eventually, and just says something like very Stan Lee like, and like that the Spider-Man dying for some reason, like, and this is a testament to how good Spider-Verse is. Peter Parker dying in that movie and seeing all of New York City just like absolutely like taken aback by it, and just everyone all sad, like really like got to me.
Well, I mean, I felt like that one was such a special cameo because Spider-Man's his baby.
It's true.
Do you guys remember what Stanley said in that cameo, word for word?
He
In
said,
what, Spider-Verse?
No, in Endgame.
Make love, not war.
It was a little longer. Maybe it was. No, I think you're right.
he's
Hey,
like,
man,
hey,
make
hey,
love.
man, make love, not war. And drives away.
Well, I mean, maybe it wasn't the best cameo, but I thought it was proper. I mean, I'm sure that's probably him knowing his condition at the time. He probably knew that that was going to be his final send-off. So if that maybe was the message that he wanted to say in this movie, um, maybe that's what he wants to say. Make love, not war.
I think
Then
they
again, on the
filmed.
contrary, it's like you can't really predict when the last one's gonna be. So
No, I mean that's understandable, but I mean
Well,
they filmed
they had
they filmed
filmed
up
a
to a
bunch
certain point.
of they filmed a bunch of Stan Lee cameos all at once,
yeah.
and I
Right.
think this was the last batch that they had filmed. I think
Hmm.
that the Captain Marvel one was actually the last one he had ever filmed.
Was it really? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I heard that somewhere else. You
I
are
know
right.
that Captain Marvel was filmed after Endgame was filmed, so technically speaking, Captain Marvel in Endgame is the first time she played Captain Marvel.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah,
By
I
the
mean,
way, what did you guys think of the Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel scene? That was sweet.
you mean Captain America versus Captain America?
Or sorry, Captain America. Yeah, that's not it. My bad. Captain America versus Captain America scene. That was fucking badass.
That was a
Joey,
good scene.
you say the joke.
That's America's ass.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. And
Dude, but
like hats off
that
to hats
scene,
off to Paul Rudd for delivering that line like and making me laugh so hard, and then hats off to fucking Chris Evans for doing it again and making it even funnier.
Playing along with it. Yep.
Holy shit! I also
Yeah,
love
that is
the line
amazing.
where where 2011 Cap is like, sorry, he didn't cough. Sorry. I could do this all day, and he's like, yeah, I know.
I know. I know.
And then just the fucking Hail Hydra thing. I was like, he stepped in that elevator with all the Hydra dudes, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do the Winter Soldier thing again. Oh my god. And then he does the Hail Hydra thing, and it was so much better than I thought it would be.
that was funny
It
as
was a
fuck.
trip.
They were so lost. They were like, "What the like?
What the
Do
fuck
we
just
bel-"
happened?
And he just leans there. He's like, "Hail Hydra." And he gives him like a little like nod, like, "Yeah." It's like,
He smirks out of that elevator, and it's the best smirk I've ever seen from Chris Evans. It was so so
it
good.
was so well done.
Have you seen Winter Soldier, Dylan?
Yes.
Okay. But do you guys both remember in Winter Soldier when
The
one of
elevator
those?
scene?
No, well, yeah, that because it's the best scene in that movie.
Yeah.
When one of the characters who's in that elevator, the bald dude that I think Cap whispers to, is talking with, I think he's a senator, and
The senator from Iron Man 2.
Yes, that's exactly who it is. Good job, Joey. The senator whispers into the bald dude's ear, very sexually. He's like, "Hail Hydra."
I remember that scene. Stop.
I wonder.
You
I
sick
wonder.
bastard.
eh. I'm almost willing to bet that's like one of the best comedic scenes in all of Endgame.
The Hail Hydra thing.
Yeah, like comedic wise, that was really good.
I don't even feel that as a comedic scene. I just think that was just like this badass moment of brilliance from Captain America to solve this issue.
You want to talk comedic? Let's talk comedic. Let's talk
What's your
Bruce Banner, genuine with the Hulk body, but still the Bruce Banner brain.
It was such a weird, like awkward, but just absolutely hilarious. Like
It was hilarious when he took the photo op with the kids.
Oh,
he's
that
just
was
like, yeah, hey
funny
guys,
as
I'm Hulk.
fuck.
Ah,
That
man,
was
Hulk
funny.
dab,
Yeah.
Hulk dab.
Just
Like, what the
bro,
fuck
like,
is that shit?
Like normally that would be like cringy to make a joke, but it's because it was so perfectly set up with Ruffalo
He
doing
just
that.
looks he just looked goofy. Okay, so let me wait. So is there my question that I had at the end of Infinity War was why wasn't the Hulk able to come out? And it's
He was
not
scared
answered.
of Thanos. He got his ass whooped.
I think it was the first time he actually lost a fight, and he was just his pride was shaken.
Right, but it
It's
was
the one.
never really answered, or it was like it questioned it the entire movie. Why can't you come out? Why? And then at one point, Iron Man tells him to like step back because of, or was that who said
That
that?
was towards the beginning.
That was the
He
beginning.
Right,
told him to step back.
but throughout the entire movie, it's always about Hulk can't get out of he can't go Hulk. So my question is, like they transition this.
Well, he explains it.
Well,
He always
I think it's I think that the simple answer, and it's not exactly you know, like I think there should have been a little bit more explanation for this, and I'll get into something even deeper than that. Is that he was just afraid because he had gotten his ass whipped by Thanos. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore because Hulk has the mind of like basically a 5-year-old.
savage.
No,
Yeah,
like a
savage
5-year-old, basically.
5-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. And so being defeated, like just absolutely destroyed by like that, just like he's like, I don't want to, just having a tantrum, basically. Now,
I
good.
I more so enjoyed the past Hulk stairway scene than any of the Mark Ruffalo Hulk scenes. I'm
That
gonna
was
be
really
honest
funny.
with you.
Like that
Which
was
scene?
the Avengers 1 Hulk scenes.
Like
Oh,
the stairs.
Too many
oh,
stairs.
oh, yeah. Oh, and they all jump in the elevator.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
The this is one of my what I would call a negative about Endgame is when you're talking about Professor Hulk and him just like they're sitting down in the diner, he's like, yeah, I figured it all out, blah 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 blah. That to me was kind of what I'd call a letdown for what that moment should be, because the Hulk and his character arc throughout all these movies and all these things of just like him trying to run away from it, him trying to prevent it from happening again, then him kind of like accepting it and then using it
Embracing
for
it.
good. But then what happens in Ultron, and he actually just destroys the city, and then like everyone hates him, and then he runs away, and he literally is like Banner literally loses like 2 years of his life because Hulk has like kidnapped him for 2 years, and he wakes up on an alien planet and all that stuff and all these crazy things, just to like have like him come into a scene fully Professor Hulked out and just be like, yeah, I figured it out. It's just kind of like you could have given that scene of them merging a little
more
credits.
of a build up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they just took Hulk out of this movie, and he just was never there.
Pretty much, and that's the best thing about the Hulk.
Wait,
His
wait,
badass
wait.
temper.
And they went back like 5 years. Shouldn't Hulk be there?
Back 5 years?
What?
When they went back in time in Endgame.
Like in the Avengers 1 thing?
Yes.
He was there.
He was there.
Too many stairs.
We just talked about this.
Wait. No. Wait, what? No, that was Hulk?
What are you talking about?
In the final, okay, I'm talking about in Endgame. They went back in time, and we had the Doctor Hulk
And the regular Hulk from Avengers 1.
Wait, how did he die?
He didn't die.
What?
Wait, I'm confusing myself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna do some research.
Are
I'm
you
so fucking
talking
confused.
about how I said that like Hulk wasn't in this movie?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, he was there in the Avengers 1 scenes, but the actual
But he's talking present day.
Right.
Hulk was not there.
yeah.
Right.
And to
Okay.
me, like Hulk and Banner are two separate characters, and having Hulk have great moments and have his thing kind of have his place in this movie, they kind of took that away from him. And I felt
Right.
like there should have
Yeah,
been
okay.
something in the end of that, in the final battle, where Professor Hulk lets go and has full Hulk come out once more and actually fight Thanos and actually like do some damage.
Dude, I told my friend, I told Jesus that I was like, dude, they're gonna have like a rematch from like in Avengers. Hulk's gonna come out and they're gonna, when he put on the gauntlet first, I was like, bro, this is gonna be like the final fight. Like Hulk's gonna come in, even though I knew it probably wasn't gonna happen. But I
I
was
feel like that was a wasted opportunity. Really, I feel like they should have given a little bit of retribution against Thanos.
It's true,
Yeah.
but you can't have like
They-
every
didn't
single
he
every
did
single
punch
character
him
wants
twice, didn't he?
maybe.
I
The
get
Hulk.
that, but like for
When they
of all the
held him
characters,
together.
he got his ass whooped. I think the worst out of all
Oh
of them.
fuck yeah, he got
He
wrecked.
needed the revenge, but they kind of just crippled him in the end.
Yeah, I mean it's probably the weak point, one of the weak points in the weak spots of the character. But I mean the fact that he and like the moment he has is like he fucking undid
Oh
the
no,
snap.
yeah, exactly. That's still a badass moment. But
That's
like,
a great moment. Like he did that, and it's the fact that after everything that he's been through, he finally was able to use that Hulk power and everything that he's done to do something truly, truly great for the entire fucking universe.
yeah.
And that's good. That was a good moment. What did you guys think of Hawkeye in this movie?
You mean Ronan?
Yes.
That is technically the name he goes by, but Hawkeye.
You just- Clint. Oh, I love the
Clint.
part where T'Challa where Clint's running the gauntlet, which is a funny thing, and T'Challa's like,
Dude with the arrows.
Clint, I got this.
looked at Lindsay and I was like, "Oh my god, he remembered his name."
He remembered his
'Cause
name.
You look back to Civil War. He goes, "I don't care."
It's
He cared.
It's such a funny thing because I loved Hawkeye in Civil War because he's just so funny about how like everything's just like what the fuck is going on here? I don't understand everything. Pew pew pew. Let me just do this thing.
Just gonna go along with it.
He has 3 scenes in Civil War that are like 3 of his only scenes basically where he's like where Iron Man's yelling at Scarlet Witch and Iron Man finally turns to Hawkeye. He's like, hey Clint, and then Clint's like, hey man. He's just been standing the whole time, and then when him and Black Widow are wrestling, and they're like, "We're still friends, right? Depends on how hard you hit me."
Harsh.
And then of course he's like, "We haven't met before. I'm Clint." Black Panther's like, "I don't care."
I don't care. He cared though. He remembered his name.
What a shining moment to see T'Challa's smiling face, just being like, "Clint, I got this. Give it to me."
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
I thought that Hawkeye had a great movie. I thought he had such a good amount of screen time. Like they really focused on him when it mattered. And his
To open the movie with losing his family, that was a kick in the heart real quick, right out the gate.
It kicks you on frame 1. Like as soon as you see that arrow, you're just like, no, not in the beginning. You can't do this to me right now.
Oh man.
And just I honestly feel like the most surreal moment of this entire movie is right after Vormir, when he is sitting in the weird soulstony world, and he pulls out the stone and he's there, and it's just like fucking Hawkeye is doing this right now, has done the soulstone thing right now that Thanos did last movie. That was like this crazy characterization moment for Thanos. It's like it's Hawkeye doing this right now. How fucking weird is that? I mean, it's awesome, but it's just so strange. Like, who would have thought?
Yeah, that was a cool scene though.
Is awesome. And then him after the building explodes and running the gauntlet through against the what are those called?
And the tubes.
Yeah, against the Outlanders.
Dude, that scene, all of it was.
We're not at the final battle yet. We're leaving that to one final gush. Can we talk about the very beginning of the movie when they go to fight Farmer Thanos?
Yes. So I had theories just popping out of my head on that one, man. Like as soon as he chopped off his head and they realized it's all over, I'm like, this is reality stone work right here. No fucking way this is really happening.
Imagine they just left the Thanos thing right there and they just picked up a whole mini plot for the end.
One guy in my theater, which I'll allow it just because it was the one time someone actually said something, is that when it cuts to black, some guy in my theater was like, "Well, that was short," as a joke. Like, just a word of warning: don't fucking do that. Even if it is like actually funny, don't do it. It was kind of funny though. Actually, I thought, yeah, fine. And it was kind of like a point in which it was a lull in what was going on, but
yeah.
Like I read some theories where when they were talking about how he used the stones again in the trailers, people were thinking like, oh, he scattered the stones throughout the universe, and so they have to do the time travel thing in order to get the stones back. I didn't think he actually destroyed them, and I actually had the theory of like, oh, they went to the planet, they fought Thanos, they beat him because he didn't have any stones, and they were like, well, we can't do anything now. I didn't fucking think Thor was going to decapitate that goddamn dude.
He went for the head, man.
It was so brutal.
I gone for the head.
I love Captain Marvel just going in, just putting him in a headlock, and then Hulkbuster busting out of the ground, grabbing his arm and like holding it like to the side, and then Rhodey coming in, grabbing it, like all three of them just coming in and just like, hey, what's up, and locking him in place, and then Thor coming in, just whoosh, chops off his fucking arm.
Yeah,
that was good.
Jesus.